Hello everybody, this is Tracy again with Euro Truck Simulator 2. A Trucker's Perspective Volume 4 had a major problem with my computer with my game. I had to reload everything. My backup files weren't working, so I'm starting from the beginning. If you look over here, follow the mouse, I got no experience points, no money, nothing. So this isn't a playthrough to where everything's going to remain consistent, I guess, so we're just going to continue on with the trucker's perspective and demonstrate today the air brakes, and I think I want to make sure I've got those simulated. I do not, so I will. And I'll explain a little bit how they work and why they work, but let's just pretend that I didn't lose everything, and my hometown is actually starting in Erfurt, so I already have a job selected for me because it's just the very first one. So I've gone through, done all of my setup for my controller, so that's taken care of. Let's drive. Didn't do much of I'm not going to do much of anything with engine retarder today because I don't know much about it. However, there is a link in the video description to a video that a person who is subscribed to my channel, his name is Kevin, King of Essex on Steam. He posted about 2-3 minutes long. It shows what it looks like in-game with the retarder on, with it off. It does a very good job. So I suggest you take a look at that. Let's do a walk around and see what we're pulling today. Pulling a reefer. So it's going to be a pretty standard trip. Not going to have to worry about tipping over too much. Let's go ahead and get it started. It's going to be a quick one because it was the very first mission of the profile. So, okay, since it's going to be quick, we're going to go ahead and talk about the air brakes right away. Someone asked me if trucks use friction brakes because I didn't really describe what it's about. And automobiles use hydraulic brakes now. They used to not, but way back in the old days. But they use hydraulic brakes, and what that does is when you step on the brakes, it charges the hydraulic fluid in the system and activates the brake pad, the brake calipers, the brake pads, and it applies pressure to the brakes to stop. Now, conversely, the semi-trucks use an pneumatic braking system, and it charges the air system using a compressor, and then it has storage tanks that the air is stored in at a high pressure, and when you step on the brakes, it charges the system and it activates the brake drums, then it of course uses friction brakes, brake pads, just like everybody else would. But they don't use discs, at least in the trailers and on the rears of the tractor, because they just don't last as long, I guess. I don't know. But they use drum brakes. Now, the air system, because it's completely different than a hydraulic system, what it does is it sends air. It's if you can picture an electrical circuit, when you turn on a power switch activates the light to the power to the light that you want to turn on, or the device that you want to turn on, and when you turn the power switch off, it cuts off that circuit. But it has to make a circuit to and from to make it work. Same idea behind the air brake system. It goes from the air compressor storage tanks in the cab of in the tractor to the rear of the trailer, and then goes all the way back to the compressor tanks. So once it makes that circuit, then the brakes start to work. That's the reason why when you step on brakes in this game and you have air brake simulator turned on, or simulate air brakes turned on, that's the reason why there seems like there's a pause, and then all of a sudden you're jamming on the brakes, and you come to a complete stop instead of stopping as quickly as you had hoped. So the way you use air brakes in a tractor is you You step on them initially with just a light touch to activate the system, and then when you start noticing the start to grab, then you increase your brake pressure. You do not slam on the brakes unless, of course, you have to, because somebody in front of you is wanting to be an idiot and cause an accident. So basically that's how air brakes work in a semi-truck. Yes, they are friction brakes, of course, but they are completely different as far as when you step on them, they don't work right away. You have to wait for them to activate. And that doesn't take very long. It's not like you're sitting there going, okay, okay, work, work, work. No, you just step on the brakes a little bit, and then it'll start to grab. Let's see if I can do a little demonstration of that real quick. There, now I'm stepping on the brakes. You see? I'll tell you when I started and then when it starts to activate. Okay, I'm going to step on the brake right now. And there, now I'm starting to slow down. See? That's how that works. Those are air brakes. They're I don't know why they... Well, it'd be hard to use hydraulic systems between the tractor and the trailer because of the line connections you have to make. If you look on the back of the cab without a trailer on it, you see these red and blue arrow hoses. And if you're not a truck driver, you're driving down the road and you notice that there's these lines between the two, between the tractor and the trailer. Well, those are air hoses. One is for the brake system itself. Well, they're both for the brake system, but one is so you can use the brakes. The other one is the emergency brake system. It adds pressure to air brake spring release back in the trailer, which will open the brakes so you can actually drive down the road. But if something should happen and you disconnect, and the tractor and trailer disconnect, that emergency brake hose pops off and locks up those tires. And that way the trailer supposedly, in a real world, I mean in a best case scenario, just stops. Of course, in real life they tumble and crash and fall apart and cargo goes flying everywhere. It's really ugly, but that's what that's designed for. You got the regular brake system and then the emergency brake braking system, not the parking brake, emergency system that releases the spring brakes and snaps them shut. When you put on the parking brake in the truck, basically in essence what it does is it activates that spring brake release and sets it to where the trailer can't move. I also got a real kind of ugly comment in my Steam thread. One of them was, why do you use the blinkers when nobody's around? Well, I'm a truck driver. And it's a habit. It's something that I've always done. I was taught to do, so I'm going to do it. My gameplay is to play as realistic as I can. And also, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, make it look like I'm the best truck driver in the world. I'm not. But I don't know, there were some questions on the threads that I saw that people wanted answers to, and I figured I could do it because I have the experience in really doing this for a living. I'm telling you, truck driving is hard, people. The driving the truck itself, steering it, you know, you could teach pretty much anybody to do that if they have the patience to learn. What's the hard part about it is if here, like in the United States, over the road, you're gone for 3 weeks, 4 weeks at a time, and then you come home and you're home for 3 or 4 days, 5 days if you're lucky, and then you're back out again. It's a really lonely lifestyle. But conversely, on the other end of the spectrum, you get to be out in the middle of everywhere and see things that you wouldn't see if you just stayed home. So I miss the freedom of the road. And if you're wondering, and I'm sure a lot of you are, why I'm not driving truck anymore, medical issues. That's about it. But I'm not going to go into that any farther. I enjoyed my job and I enjoyed the company I worked for. So I think we covered the air brake system. It's really easy to explain. It's a little harder to understand conceptually. But just remember, when you step on the brakes, you don't slam on them to stop right away. You step on the brake, and then as it grabs, then you apply the pressure you need to stop. And right now I'm just enjoying the drive, trying to maintain lane control. Let's see what else is. Oh yeah, there's the perspective of, oh wow, look at that, that's blinding. There's a perspective question somebody asked in a comment, I believe is episode 2, where I was going around a right-hand corner. I was in the fast lane, which is the far left lane, passing somebody, or I was trying to get around an exit. One of the, I can't remember specifically the circumstance, but as I was in that far left lane, I was going around a curve, and the perspective of the line on the dashboard, if you look right over the steering wheel, how when you look out the side window right below the mirrors on my left side, you can't see the lines go past my window. So it looks like that my tractor is over the white lines and out of my lane, and either on the shoulder or in the other lane next to me. In that particular instance, it looked like it was over the onto the shoulder. The way you can check and to make sure that your tractor is remaining in your lane, take a look at the bottom of the left mirror, the bottom mirror on the left-hand side. Look at the bottom of it, and you'll see that there's probably 2 feet between the tractor and the white line. So it tells me that I'm still in my lane, whether it looks like it through the front windscreen or not. Jacob brakes. That's what the Jake brake does. It's just what it does. The Jake brake, the engine brake, compression brake, what it does is it forces exhaust gases back into the cylinders of the engine, and it causes that extra pressure to slow the engine speed down, so it slows the truck down instead of using your brakes. From what I understand with the retarder, what it does is I'm not quite sure how a retarder works, but what it does is it maintains the speed on your tractor when you're going down a hill. And I never used it in real life, so I don't use it in game. Wow, I forgot to step on my brake. Taking that corner kind of wide. I'm not going to cut it back in, because if I do, I'll probably tip the trailer over, so I'll just gently move back into my lane when I'm done. What I've done for that Jake brake, the engine brake, is set up my X button to be the activated one on my Xbox 360 controller. I don't have it set on automatic, because what it'll do is every time you step on the brake, it will come on, and it's just, for me, very awkward. That's not how I used it in real life. I'm really quite disappointed that I had to restart this whole thing. But, oh, speed limit just went down to 50 kilometers an hour. I think 41 is acceptable. We're almost there. We went to Dresden today, and my frame rates are dropping, which is normal for my system inside the city. No mishaps and accidents today, which is always a good thing. Kind of boring for the viewer, but take the opportunity to look around. The light's about to turn green. I'm not doing this to show off that I'm a good truck driver. I'm doing this because there was a lot of questions that people are asking about what the systems do on a truck and why are they there and how do we use them in the game, and I'm hoping to answer these questions along as entertaining you guys. That's my hope. If you find that these videos aren't helping you out and they're just kind of silly, that's fine with me. I'm okay with that. You can go ahead and watch something else. Enjoy. I mean, the idea of putting things on YouTube is to share things you think are interesting and gives the viewer who does not share your opinion the opportunity to stop the video and move on. But I have fun playing this game, and I hope you do too. Here we are at our delivery. Let's take a look at this yard. Ooh, it's empty. Now, I've been waiting for an empty yard. I want to show you this. I'm going to stop. Let me hide that GPS because I don't need to see it anymore. Turn off the turn signal. There's so much room here. Here's what I would do in real life driving a truck. I'd go right up to here to this dock. Look in the right hand mirror there. I'm going to use the outside mirror. You guys can keep looking at the one in the windshield. I'm going to try to, and then I'm going to, I overshot it a little bit. But I'm going to pull out straight farther because it'll get that trailer where I want it to be. So let's take a look outside and see what we're looking at here. Kind of lined up. I could pull forward a little bit more, so I think I'm going to do that. I mean, it isn't lined up straight, but the angle is okay, but I'm going to pull up a little bit more. There. I was looking at the mirror in the windshield. Let's put it in reverse. And just back up straight from here until the tires in my right mirror get into the parking spot. Oops. Oh, shoot. Make a correction. Now I'm going to start hard turning it to the left. Huh. This is taking longer than it should have, but oh well. One of the reasons why I'm having as much difficulty as I am is because I'm still trying to get used to the turning radius compared to these tractors and the Freightliner Classic I drove in real life. It had a really long nose. That's good enough to get that beeping to stop. Okay, we're here. Deliver it. So hopefully that was entertaining for you. It was easy, it was quick. Wow, went up a level, that's awesome. My wonderful headquarters. Had to start all over again, which really stinks. Let's do a skills upgrade real quick and then I'll end this video. What I want to do, I always do this one. There are so many different ways that people upgrade their skills. I've heard people say, do a long distance, do one of these 3 here, and then fill this up. I've heard people say, add 2 here, add 1 here, add 1 here, and this doesn't matter. You know what? Long distance, here's what this does. It allows you to drive farther. High value cargo allows you to get loads that are heavy or they're worth a lot. The more you have, the heavier the loads, or the more they're worth and the more you get paid. Fragile cargo. Pretend you're driving a box of a trailer full of eggs so you don't ruin anything. This one here, and the more fragile the cargo, the more money you get. Just-in-time delivery. These people need their delivery yesterday. So this one here, you have to really schedule your route well as you can in the game. There's a lot more tools available for you in real life to be able to figure out how you're going to get there, when you're going to get there, what truck stops are going to be at the last viable point before you fall asleep or run out of fuel. You know, there's all kinds of guides for that for truck drivers out there, but in the game you just kind of have to make the best case guess and get there. And eco driving, this one here, the more you have it, the better you'll be able to you'll have more fuel savings. ADR, these here allows you to carry these different types of loads, like explosives, non-flammable gases, explosives, explosive solids, poisons, radiological stuff like nuclear waste and stuff. All of these things here. So you open all of these up, the more loads that are going to become available for you. For me, I've noticed to increase my skills and make more money long distance, because the farther you drive, the more money you make. And then these three right here really have given me good bonuses in the past. Right now I'm just going to increase my long distance. I want to drive farther than 200 kilometers. Okay, that's it. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I'd be glad to answer them. I try to answer them personally if I can. If not, I'll take care of them in the video. The thing with the perspective on the lines, just as you're driving down the road, you're going around a corner, you're not sure you're still in the lane, take a quick look in your mirrors. That'll tell you everything you need to know. That's it, folks, for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Follow me, comment, like it, share it with your friends. I'm not quite sure what else we're going to do with this on Volume 4. I might turn this, or on Volume 5, I might turn this into a gameplay or let's play or something like that. But if you have any questions or comments, give me a shout. We'll talk to you guys later.